Hey guys, it's Marco Gaming 64 and today I'm bringing you guys a really close match against JustWeavile. His YouTube channel will be in the description if you want to check him out. He uploads a lot of awesome Wifi battles and overall they're really good and high quality, so I really recommend you check them out. I personally really enjoy his contents, and yeah, so looking at team preview, it does look fairly balanced. We both have threats to each other's teams that could potentially sweep late game if their main checks to them get worn down. So overall I'm looking really forward to this match. It did end up being really close and coming down right to the wire, so I really enjoyed this match. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and let's get right into the battle. So he's going to end up leading off with his Landorus T, and I'm going to end up leading off my Keldeo as it threatens a huge part of his team. So this is really good for me because I have a safe chance to try and get a burn on something. He can't KO me in one hit no matter what, even if he is Scarfed, which he ends up being. So I get off a free Scald, which means I have a nice chance to get a burn on this Latias, and I don't get it, which would have been really key for later in the match. So that's a little bit unfortunate, as he makes a nice double into his Bishop, basically predicting my Clefable. Really good play on his part, as now he could go for the safe Iron Head. I have Mega Scizor to take that, or just Scizor at this point, as I haven't Mega involved, and basically I could take whatever he wants to go for right afterwards because he isn't Life Orb. So I'm just safe to go for the Mega Evolution, go for the safe Superpower. He does outspeed me before I Mega involve, but I have enough speed to outspeed him right afterwards, so it doesn't really matter, as he just goes right out into his Ferrothorn. This is a play I didn't really get. He was probably expecting a knockoff / bug bite or something like that, but I just go for the safe Superpower. I do have enough speed to outspeed Bisharp, so that's really nice for me, as here he wants to keep his Bisharp for later as Death Fodder. Really important, because in this metagame it's really nice to have Death Fodder in any Pokemon metagame really, but he's going to go out into his Landorus T. I don't have knockoff on this. If I did, I would have gone for it. Probably not, actually. I just wanted to knock out his Ferrothorn, but if I would have been able to knock off his Choice Scarf, that would have been nice, but I don't have it, and I wouldn't have gone for it, so I should stop talking about it, as I just pulled a safe switch into my Landorus T, but this gives him a safe switch into his Keldeo, which is bad for me, as I need to keep my Latias healthy, because I'm not running Ruse, and I need to make sure I can get off the Healing Wish later in the match. So I'm going to go into Clefable to scout what he's going to go for first. If he goes for the Hydro Pump, that's really bad for me because he could knock me out with another one. But now knowing he went for the Hydro Pump over Icy Wind or anything like that, I don't mind going out into Latias just to take another one. And basically I know his Keldeo is really important to check my Scizor, so I'm going to hard switch out into my Keldeo knowing he needs to keep it healthy for later in the match. So I go out into my own Keldeo, predicting his Heatran. He was probably not going to go into his Ferrothorn. Even if he did, I could have knocked it out, but my Latias could have 2 KO him, but I'm just going to go for the safe Scald. This means that he could actually save his Ferrothorn for later as Death Fodder, just a safe play, and it goes out into his Latias. If I got a burn here, that would have been amazing, but I don't. It really sucks, because this Latias ends up being a huge threat later, as you guys will see. It's Mega Latias. I go out into my Scizor just to scout what he's going to go for because my Clefable is low. I was expecting the Side Shock really, but him going for the Calm Mind either tells me he is offensive Calm Mind or stored power. So I'm going to sack my Clefable to actually see what he is, because if he is stored power he can't knock me out, but if he is standard offensive he can knock me out. So I'm just going to sack my Clefable overall just to scout, and he goes out into his Ferrothorn, which tells me he is stored power, which is really important for me. I could just knock out his Ferrothorn for free. He had no other switch-ins really. He could have gone out into Heatran, but then that gives me a free Soft Boiled. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As he goes out into his Bisharp here, I have no switch-ins. I want to keep my Keldeo healthy in case this thing becomes a huge threat later on, which it most likely will be, and my Scizor can't take 2 or whatever. So I'm just going to go out into my Keldeo here, as he doesn't have a switch-in. He goes out into his own Keldeo, really risky play on his part, because if I went for Secret Sword, I could have 2 a KO this easily, but at this point I just want to weaken this so my Scizor could clean up late game, so I'm just going to stay in knowing I could take a Secret Sword or hoping to win the speed high. It doesn't really matter, because as you guys will see later, I do Healing Wish into it, but now that I have the damage I wanted, I could set up my rocks, and I believe it dies upon entry plus Bullet Punch, so that's really nice for me, as Scizor is a huge threat to his team now that I weaken this thing really. So here he knows he's locked into Secret Sword, so I'm able to get up my rocks easily. If I could just weaken this thing, Scizor beats the remainder of his team, which is really important to keep in mind. So I feel at this point I should have gone for the rock slide. I don't have knockoff because this is my bird spam check, so I'm just going to go for the U-turn. So I felt like I should have gone for the rock slide, but it doesn't end up mattering. As I go out into my Talent Flame just to weaken this for Scizor, it actually ends up knocking him out. So this is Jolly Band's Talent Flame. If this was Adamant, I would have expected to knock him out for sure, but since it was Jolly, I didn't think it would knock him out. I just wanted to weaken this for Scizor, so that's really important for me, as here he goes out into his Heatran. Okay, this play I just wanted to weaken his Heatran because if it's at 95% or lower, I can knock him out with a superpower later in the game. So that's why I did that. I just wanted to weaken it. So now that he's at a low enough points, I could go out into Latias because he can't knock me out with whatever. Looking at that damage, he appears to be especially defensive. So I'm safe to just go out into my Latias. At this point, I could have gone for anything really. It didn't really matter what I went for, but I just wanted to get the free Healing Wish, and I didn't know if his Heatran was running enough speed to outspeed me. That would have been max speed, but I didn't know if his Heatran was running speed or not. I knew it was running HP, but I didn't know if it was running speed, so I thought I shouldn't have done that display at all. 100%. I should have gone into Scizor, but me going out into Keldeo basically means it's at full health. It's a huge threat to his team just as well, but Scizor could have just cleaned up. If I went into it there, I could have gone for the Sword Dance. Knockoff wouldn't have done enough to the point where Sucker Punch could have knocked me out, and I could have just straight up Sword Dance and then Superpower or whatever the rest of his team. Of course, it would have been a 50-50 with his Bisharp, but yeah. Basically here I'm expecting the Roost, as he is fairly low and this thing threatens a huge part of my team, so he doesn't want to let it get too low. So that was just another play I was talking about, Healing Wishing into Scizor, but this play works as well, as he goes out into his Heatran. I Bug Bite. This is offensive Scizor. Offensive Scizor is a threat. This thing just knocks out his Heatran easy peasy, and this basically means that Heatran can no longer wall my Talent Flame, and basically, yeah, Talent Flame can do a little bit of work later in the match if I do manage to weaken this Bisharp as well. Obviously, Stealth Rocks are up and I can't switch him in, but on a switch in, on his Keldeo, he has nothing to take it. So here I do a really bad play. Even though I was just saying Talent Flame could do something later in the match, I go out into Keldeo. I was thinking I should have just sacked my Talent Flame there so I could have gone into Keldeo, because if this thing gets weakened to the point where Sucker Punch knocks me out, I could have been in an awful position, as I'm not running enough speed to outspeed Bisharp on my Landorus T. So yeah, I just want to go for Icy Wind to make sure this thing gets outsped by my Scizor, and here basically it's not even a 50-50. He has to go for a Roost, or else I can knock him out with another Icy Wind. So I basically felt really safe going out into my Scizor, knowing I have enough speed to the point where I could outspeed him after that Icy Wind. I'm just going to go for the Bug Bite as it kills the rest of his team. I did play a little bit poorly around the end game here, but him sacking Bisharp was really huge for me, because, well, me going for Bullet Punch was just to ensure that he didn't get Sucker Punch damage. But here he goes out into his Keldeo, and I was fairly certain Bullet Punch knocks him out after that, but I didn't want to risk anything, so I just sacked my Landorus T, as it loses to the last 2 months of his team. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now here I basically trapped him, because he has no choice but to basically let his Latias get worn down to the points where Keldeo kills him, or Scizor kills him with Bullet Punch, or I basically just kill his Keldeo. So him letting me kill his Keldeo basically means that, well, he couldn't switch out, or else Bullet Punch guaranteed kills him, or here I can't switch out, but I don't know. This endgame is a little bit weird, but obviously he's gonna go for the Roost here, and no matter what, he has to go for some Calm Minds, because he can't knock me out with Stored Power from this range. And if he gets to enough HP to the point where, well, basically at this point I basically have it, because as long as I hit this Icy Wind, Scizor cleans up, because he has to, if he's max HP, max speed, because he's guaranteed to be max speed, because he outspeed my Keldeo, well, he could technically have enough speed to outspeed Keldeo, but I'm assuming that doesn't really matter. Basically, I just need to get off about 5%, and then Scizor guaranteed always kills this, so it's over at this point, because Keldeo always gets off 5%. I go for the Skull just to get the burn, didn't matter, but just wanted to show that I could get the burn at least, I don't know. And then Mega Scizor is going to clean up, so yeah, like I said in team preview, very close game, 17 HP, Scizor coming through. This endgame was a little bit weird. He told me after the match his Bisharp was black Dread play, I believe. The dark glasses, whatever. Same thing, but yeah, that's why I didn't have a life orb, and yeah, that's pretty much the game. Go check out JustWeavile. He's a little bit smaller, but I really enjoy his content. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna see you guys later, because I'm gonna keep saying stuff if I don't stop recording in the next few seconds. Donuts. Oh no, I missed the end, but I'm not gonna cut this out.